Studios. And Mimo, always following up on the top story of the day. The Council of Governors is this morning expected to hold a full council meeting where new officials will be elected. The meeting, which will take place at the Hilton Hotel, will see the governors also address the state of devolution in the country. The current chairman, beg your pardon, let's bring in Patrick Mimo, who has been following up on that story from our city centre studios. Mimo, what more are we likely to expect today?
Thank you, Michelle. Good morning. At least the full council meeting will deliberate on various issues as earlier stated. But we expect from the leadership, at least, they will be electing new leaders to take various positions that exist at the council, starting right from the chairperson to the vice chairperson, to members of those, to chairpersons of various committees that comprise the Council of Governors. This particular time, we've seen that at least when the council came on board, the first chairperson was Bomet Governor Isaac Ruto, who, after serving his term, passed the mantle to Peter Munya, who is the Meru governor. And Munya has been running the show up to today, when we expect to see at least an election and a new chairperson in office, just as we had maybe just about few less than about 2.5 months to the general election. But what is happening is that so far, according to some insider sources that are privy to, I'm told that at least 5 candidates have expressed interest for the position of chairperson. But then the list or the clear list will be known as during the day as the day goes, in order to know how many are really willing, because there are those who can declare candidature, but then as the hour approaches, then they decide to step down. But so far, at least 5 have indicated they are very keen to head this particular Council of Governors. Michelle?
All right, and Patrick, maybe just to find out what exactly the role of the COG, the Council of Governors, is, especially now when they have that particular, when now he is elected, what is it that they're expected to deliver? And also reflecting this on Munya, who is outgoing, has he done a good job or not?
The Council of Governors is a structure that has been put in place, and it's mainly it's supposed to be an oversight structure to look at how to defend devolution, because devolution is a new concept that has come with the new Constitution 2010, where now we had the 2 levels of government, one at the national level and the other the county level government. So the Council of Governors was very critical to ensure that the national government does not engage in activities that might either harm or lead to the death of devolution in the country, which has really gotten some very good fruits and support from the general public. Because before the advent of devolution, all parts of the country were at the mercy of the central government and the president. But this time round, things have changed, because you can see that county governments are assured of a share of the national cake, unlike in the past, where if you could vote in the opposition, then that region, depending on the person holding the presidency, the person can decide and say that development funds are not going to be directed to that particular county or region or province, as it were, under the old structure. That's why we saw some parts of the country lagged behind, because either they were in the opposition, some were neglected maybe because they were far off, like northern Kenya, which were neglected. And those days in the 80s, in the 70s, 80s, up to 90s, if you are taken to those parts of the country, it was like a punishment, because they were not regarded as part of the country or Kenya. But with the advent of devolution, we've seen very good progress coming out of northern Kenya, because these people now have access to funds. They can chart their own destiny and development they want, not depending on the central government, because they can elect leaders at the grassroots who are closer to them and set up priority projects, unlike now depending on the central government. And this particular arrangement has also reduced the tension that was there between maybe different parts of the country, because now people feel to be part and parcel of the country, and in so doing, I think it's trying to consolidate national unity and ensuring that development, the all parts of the country acquire development at the same pace. Remember, under devolution, we also have an equalization fund. And under equalization fund, we've identified 14 counties that were formerly marginalized. These are the counties that will get, apart from the shareable revenue, like in this particular 2017-2018 financial year, where the budget has been allocated 291 billion shillings. These other counties will get at least another 20 billion shillings that will benefit them for those marginalized counties, to bring them to par with the rest of the country and make sure these people feel they are part of the country. Looking at it, we saw when Isaac Ruto was the chairperson of the Council of Governors, he really defended devolution, and he wanted more resources to be sent to county governments because according to the law, at least each 15% of the national revenue should go to the county governments, but then the revenue is calculated to the latest financial year figures. At that time, we saw when the council came on board, at least they were 5 years behind, and that time reducing the estimates of 5 years behind, then it meant that the council began with very few resources to spur development, both to spur development and also pay staff at the county level. But as the Public Accounts Committee has really fast-tracked its audit of the reports, and now we are at least 2 years behind. And now county governments can get at least their revenue, shareable revenue, is at least close to an estimate that was done at least 2 years ago. So at least on that score, things are moving on, at least on a positive end, or positive move. And you've also seen that the Isaac Ruto, when he was at the helm, he said at least they wanted the revenue to be increased, and that's the agenda that Peter Munya has pushed. And I think that's why they put Munya there, because they wanted a person who is a person with steel, a person with resolve, who can face the national government and demand equal share for the county government. So Munya, on that score, has really done good, and is really fit the shoes of Isaac Ruto in pushing the agenda to ensure that county governments are recognized across the country.
All right,
Michael?
thank you, Patrick Amimo. They are joining us from our city center studios. You'll be following up